Hey everybody, welcome to your Thursday lighting critique. We have our live critique going on. I just wanted to show you guys, we've got Juan Lopez went ahead and added an automated rig and dance to our lovely Ashley. It just brings her to life, makes her a lot more fun. I was getting a big kick out of that earlier. But on to some critiquing. And I was just kidding Donika before. You go ahead and post your updated one and I'll switch it out. All right, here we go. So, Diana, we're going to start with your demo reel here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, let's go ahead and take a look through this. Okay, cool. So the one thing, I would play the shot all the way through before you start the breakdown.
Okay.
I do love, by the way, the number and the number with like the simple description of what you did is perfect. And then you can have an accompanying, what am I gonna say, like a PDF that's like, you can say number one is this title and the animation was done by so and wherever the rigs ended up coming from. But yeah, I'll email them today and find out. But yeah,
I have a couple questions about it, but you can go through it before, if you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like for the first one, I didn't do all of the texturing. Like some of the assets were bought and stuff, so I wasn't sure if I should like write texturing, set dressing if it's not totally.
You can. I would.
Like should I say partial?
No, say texturing and then define it in the in the PDF off to the side.
Okay.
Yeah. My point is like you don't want, like you want to both. And the nice thing about having the separate sheet is it allows you the opportunity to give both proper credit and minimal, like, because you don't want this stuff too distracting on screen, right? You just want them focusing. Because usually, like when I look at a reel, I don't even pay attention to any of that stuff. I just look at the images. Okay, so some thoughts for you. So with this one, yeah, I think this is a great opening shot. I think you should let it play through and then do a little breakdown. This one I actually think is okay as a second shot to do it that way because there's not much because what ends up happening is with this first one it was like I didn't feel like I had enough chance to absorb it before you go into a breakdown so like the breakdown should be like I know what the shot is going, I know what the final look is, and now you're building me up to that point, and but with this one I feel like it's fine. And then for these, like that one is fine, same way. And the other thought that I had was for this, start with this full frame, and then show the reference, and then come back to this. But I like that pull out, and same thing with the night one too. So start in, pull back, and go back in. But other than that, it's good. This is really good.
Yeah, I was thinking about switching out one of them for the sushi shots. Like I wasn't sure which to choose or like what order to put it in. If you have thoughts on that.
For me, I think this shot is probably the weakest one in the reel.
Yeah, I agree. It's not my favorite.
So I think you can go from this to the sushi shot. I mean, not necessarily in that edit order, but I think you can add one more project, and take out that shot because it also felt like in the pacing of it, it felt a little bit long too.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I mean, because the creature actually looks good. Like you're doing a good job getting that specular highlights on the scales and it's just like, but it's just like there's something. It's too similar to the last shot, and I think the last shot actually looks better overall.
Mm-hmm. Like the first animated one.
This one, yeah. You know what it is too? This one. It's
okay.
I like this shot better. Oh, I don't need to inspect this website. Thank you. Do you have any other questions about it?
No.
Yeah, it's good. And like I said, we are being a part of our situation at Blue Sky, like the talk of the town right now is demo reels.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's like everybody trying to like get the rights from Disney to use certain things on their. I mean, like everyone's just trying to like piece together everything, and it's just so funny because like I was like, oh man, I got to build a reel from scratch, and then I looked and I'd done one like 7 years ago that I had completely forgotten about, and I was like, oh, hey, look at that, that's not bad. I could just add a few more shots to that. There you go. Way to go, past Mike. All right. But like
I love it when that happens.
yeah. When you get the older you get, the more that happens. It's great. So I was like, all right, cool. All right. So while we're in here, we'll look at Kevin's here. So I can't see Kevin. Are you on? I don't think he is. The only thing with this one, I was looking at this before, is that the underside of the flower flashes a little bit bright. Like you can see it. Like it's fine here, fine, and then like that. Really, it kind of if it was like if we were just picking it up in the still, it wouldn't be a big deal. But in motion, it feels like it's flashing. So I think just toning that down a little bit, and it might be just a matter of like making more translucency in the shader in order to get that, because that'll pull down the reflected like look of the light on it. But everything else looks good. One last thing. Just noticing this too. So like there's like a haze over here, but like this window, like there's haze here and a little bit here, but like for some reason the window feels extra contrasty to me. So I'm wondering if we shouldn't get a little more haze on that as well. And that's all. That's all I got. So that I think this one's looking really good. All right, let's see. Let's go to the stills. I saw Tristan. So we were talking before. So yeah. So is this? So I'm just clarifying the lower resolution. Is this just like a lower resolution to get it done in time?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Cool. So it's funny because now we're getting into some bubble placement stuff. I kind of want to see a few more back here.
Okay.
Just kind of filling up that, because again, I think that we can use, and I think it's really working well. In fact, even just like these little magenta dots kind of matches, and those look pretty okay back there. But like it really is helping sell the sense of scale a little bit to have like the bigger bubbles, smaller, like falling back into space as well. Yeah, I think this looks good. I maybe just, and this might just be because it's low res, but I'm thinking if there's a way to get a little more fill in here, now that I'm looking at this. But like this might just be an issue with it being low resolution. There's actually more detail in there than what we're seeing right now. So the only thing I'm seeing is that, and then maybe a little bit more glow out of this inner tube of the neon over here. Sorry, over here.
Yeah.
But everything like there's a lot of like cool refractions going on in these bubbles. I think they're looking really good. And the shaping of the cards. Do you guys see anything? I should say that. Is there anything that I'm missing? No, I think we're good. I think we're feeling pretty good about this. Yeah, great job.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. I think I saw Kat in here before. Kat, are you around?
She's listening.
She's listening. Okay, good deal.
I'm here.
That's okay.
Sorry, I was pushing the mute button.
No. Classic. Yeah, it's a classic Zoom problem. Or whatever. We're on Discord. So yeah. So these posters are sitting back into space really, really nicely now, and I like that. I'm trying to look like this larger, like kind of open canvas space.
Yeah.
It feels like there should be something there, like the sign on the window or something, to kind of break that up a little bit.
I've been wondering that too, and I've reloaded the building texture, but I think it's just supposed to be, I don't know. I can try reloading it again, but there doesn't seem to be anything.
I don't think it's about necessarily like it might just be a matter of putting a darker color on it just to get it to like fall. It's just because it's a little bit like bright over there.
And it's
that's
always been bothering me too.
Yeah.
So I was trying to give it more bounce light from the street lights, but then it popped it up.
Yeah.
And I actually have a light blocker that I moved to block off the back part from reflected light, so I can actually move it forward a little bit.
I don't think I don't think it's a lighting issue as much as it is a shading issue. I just think the white of it is so much brighter in its base color than everything around it, that it's just like standing out a little bit too much. Because like I just kind of want it to fall back a little bit more.
Okay. I can click onto that building and change the saturation on that building too, because when I look at the meshes on these, like everything's kind of one thing. So I don't know. So I can just change the saturation like I did on the building with the posters that we fixed already. So,
yeah. For sure.
I wonder if it's glass.
Oh, it might be glass. Like,
That's what I was thinking. It feels like glass, and so you could always just sheet it to where it's not fully transparent, and then like put like a reflection of something on the left. You know?
That's a really really good call.
Like just duplicate your set, move it to the left somewhere so that it reflects, and then comp it or something.
Okay.
And the other thing that I was just doing was just kind of brightening her up a little bit. So I think overall, and it's the key light and a little bit more in the overall value of her could just come up just a little bit. I would try warming up this light a little bit more too, just because I think it can create some more warm tones on her, which would be nice. And then and it might be a matter of pushing both sides of it, like adding a little bit more blue into the surrounding color and adding a little bit more warmth here, and then just hitting her with like a little bit, and then this red can just be some accents. Like I think the red might be coming around too far on the arm here. I want to kind of see it more as just like a rim, just like
trying to move it to a rim, but it was coming over to her shoulder more.
Yeah.
But then on the reference too, if you look on the original reference, like his one shoulder is really red, and then the other one is kind of more yellowish from the street lights. So I was trying to see if I could match that a little bit too.
Okay. And the other thing too is so she's lean. Is she physically in contact? Is she physically in contact with the wall?
I think I pulled her back, but I did push her. She should be touching the wall.
Okay.
So.
I just want to see a little more. Like I want to see her cast shadow somewhere on the wall. Especially especially in a couple of these areas, like right behind her neck here. Like we feel like there would be some kind of darkening or something. So just double check and make sure that she's got a cast shadow on that wall. But I think everything else is. Yeah. I think everything else is good.
I actually had her casting shadow because the light on the one side of her face, the fill light, but it was confusing because it didn't look to me like the light was coming from the right side, so I put a light blocker behind her to get rid of the shadow, so I can just move it and put the shadow back in.
Because we want to, because if the light's coming in this way, because it could also, just like a little bit of contact shadow there. It felt to me like when I was looking at it, like it might be an optical illusion, like she might be standing on the corner and just like it lines up against the wall, but just try and get a little bit of a shadow going on in there. All right, let's hop over to Aaron. Yeah, great. Okay, so Aaron, this is looking, this is looking good. I'm wondering if, like, I'm looking to see if we can maybe create a touch more contact shadow on the bottom of the character here, just it's tough because it's really tough because we want to keep that rice feeling nice and lifted, but just like a little bit, just like a little touch of darkening on the bottom side. This one looks okay.
Does it make sense just to kill the speck at the very bottom of the rice? So there's that bright speck at the. Oh, I'm pointing to it like an idiot, but like there's like a very sharp speck at the bottom.
Totally.
Yeah, right there.
That'll probably do it too. Okay. I think that'll dial it in. But I think everything else is looking good. Do you guys have what do you guys think about this? Anybody have any thoughts? I've always loved the background. Like I said, it's like
I agree on that.
It's just pretty. It's always like and that's why I wanted to see because I remember when you first posted your first one of the other angle, I was like, I just want to see more. I want to see more. Like I want to see more angles of this. I want to see more colors. It just it felt like a whole environment. Like this could be a really cool series of these. Like saturated colors, hard angles, breakup of like a gobo within there. It's really pretty.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I like the shaping of the rice. Especially in the one on the right. Looks really good.
Thanks.
Yeah, you guys are killing it. Like across the board, you guys are killing it with the rice. I mean, and like that was one of those like when we were first testing and playing with it, I was like, man, it's gonna be really tough. And by the way, you guys do that every time. Every time I'm like, man, this is a real challenge. This will be really tough. Every time you guys make it, you always make it look good. I'm like, I wonder how they did that. but like the feeling of like because sushi rice, you want it to feel like it's gonna stick to your finger if you touch it, right? Yeah, you just want that consistency. And I only say that because whenever we order sushi, we give my son the rice, and he's always like, he loves it until the very end. Then he just like holds up his hands because he's just covered in sticky rice, and I want to like feel that. Yeah, he's like, and it sticks everywhere. It's ridiculous. So Vanessa, this is the last one on today's checklist, and then I know Jordan had something, and if anybody else had anything they wanted to open up, just have it ready on your screen. And I'll just have you guys share from your end, and we can talk about it from there. Yeah, so I think this looks good. Without the Dame Judi Dench reference, it does. I'm wondering. Basically, if you ever show this, make sure you show that reference too, because like just by itself, it feels a little bit reddish warm in the skin. Like if you're putting this on a reel or something, it would just feel like I just kind of want to push it more into like this realm a little bit. Oh, not that. Let's see. It might be too saturated too. But yeah, like this. Like in my head, I want it to be more like that. You know what I mean? Like a little less saturated, but with the reference, it really does match up well. So I mean, it's a really good example of like of making sure to that, because like that you're showing the reference with it to show like what your inspiration was, because like just seeing it by itself would be like, oh, this might feel a little bit too red, but I think it works out better that way. So just a random thought there, but overall I think you're good. I think you're in a really good spot. Let's see. Okay, so that's it for what we have going here. Let's go ahead and I'll stop sharing my screen. Go ahead.
Donika's new one.
What's
Did
that?
we do that?
Oh, Donika's new one. You're right. Let's see. All right. Sorry, late, but provide feedback, please. Thank you. So this one? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I think copy image. Let me make sure I got the right one, because I know that was like literally as we were counting down. Let's see if it changes. Oh, it changes. All right, cool. Yeah, so we got the good one. Good. Okay, yeah, that's better. I do this, by the way. When you guys say don't look at this one, I look at that one, and I compare it to see what you guys are updating, because it does really help. Yeah, that haze makes a big difference, because it like it helps. Like, because without this, you're just like, oh, there's just kind of like nothingness back there. But the haze makes it feel like there's, it's like an implied world back there. Especially seeing something like this, is really cool. Again, with the rice, this is perfect, right? Like the subsurface scattering coming through with the backlight, the little bit of speck on the front, never getting that too dark where it feels like a hard geometry, and you're like feeling the subsurface nature of it. The dark values in the eyes are really good. I just like the only thing is the amount of not the only thing, but like the biggest thing to me is the amount of contrast on the ground. It just feels like there's more contrast in the ground plane than there is in the characters, and it's really the dark value. The light value is fine. It's just like I want to lift the darks on the floor just a little bit more, because like maybe not. Yeah, overall, like because I'm just seeing like the darks on the characters are nice, and like there's light bouncing around, where here it's like once we get into these cracks, it just goes to black. And especially like the difference between these characters and what's going on down there is pretty telling. It's like it just doesn't match up to me in my head, and it feels like they're on top of an image plane or something on the ground. But yeah, rest of it's looking great. Do you guys have anything? I always like to ask with this like kind of a little bit more abstract stuff, because I want to hear different opinions.
I agree with you about the plain stuff. To me, it feels like the background characters are much larger than the sushi up front. So there's a scale disconnect in my head.
Totally. Okay, that's, yes. I don't know why I didn't think of that. You're absolutely right. It's like I guess they're the children? I don't know how sushi people work. That's like, we were watching Cars the other day, and I was like, I don't get it. There are like no children. I don't understand how, like, do these cars just be born as adults? And how come they don't have houses? I don't understand. The sushi was like the sushi's people are kind of the same way. Like, so yeah, let's check the scale on that. And if that might be the intention, but totally. And I guess this one would be like an infant. That one's tiny. Anybody else? You guys got anything? No. Yeah, this is looking good. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Let's go. Jordan, did you want to pull up something?
I don't think it's gonna be ready in time. I'm having some encoding issues, so I can just do them tomorrow.
Okay, and if you want, like, I always feel bad if like somebody posts something while I'm recording. So if you want feedback today, let me know and I can do a little bit of written feedback on it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. By the way, Aaron, I like your camera setup. It feels like we're peeking in on you. I should say that. It feels like we're just like.
Yeah, that space is like at a premium now, and so, you know, this place went from like a hobby area to now it's like my office.
Yeah.
And I'm stuck here for 10 hours a day or 8 hours a day or whatever. So
Totally.
I tucked the camera back there. It's kind of annoying. Ashley's getting a camera soon. Mine's an old Xbox camera, so.
Yeah, I think everybody everywhere has reappropriated their existing space to be like their office space or their workspace. Like, I was not planning on being this close to my bed 8 hours a day or 9 hours a day. Yeah, so like when we, because we just have like a smaller 2-bedroom and like we always wanted our bedroom to be like a sanctuary, like just the bed. Like we don't have any other furniture in here. And you guys can't see it now, but now we have this big long desk that's for, like, she sits right next to me. I sit here. I talk about silly things. She talks about serious medical stuff. Like there, it's really. I'm like,
That's Ashley and I's like whole thing. It's like this room can be as nerdy and pop culture-y as possible, but like the rest of the apartment is like normal person like decor and stuff.
So by the way, because people have asked me about this, about like like in the evenings and the weekends, about messaging me. Message me whenever you want. I'm not offended at all. It's just that on the weekends and in the evenings, I try and step away from my monitors and try and step away from my screens a little bit. I also encourage you all to do that too, and it seems hypocritical if I don't. So it's good. It's good to like get some breathing room from this stuff, because it's so easy to be engulfed by it and pulled into it for like. But you're better artists when you're rested, when you have exercise, when you see people. You're just a better artist. Michael may disagree with me, but he's. I thought I saw you shaking your head there for a second. You're like, no, work. Just get your stuff done.
I've never my computer, but you're right.
No, it's
Only
good.
coffee breaks.
Yeah. So, all right, you guys be good. I will talk to you all very soon. And oh wait, what's today? Today's Thursday. I will check in and try and provide written feedback on Friday and Monday. But like I said, it's Lunar New Year. So my the woman that we have taking care of our daughter is taking a few days off. So Friday and Monday I will be on dad duty. So, all right, you guys be good. I'll talk to y'all very soon. All right, bye.
Thanks. Bye.